Alright, this is how we're gonna start the video. What's up, y'all? It's Shuffle. We're about to review some Contraband trinkets. Oh, my chat's talking about feet. So there you go. This is a great way to start the video. Alright. So these are kind of like the Color of Madness trinkets, I believe. Kind of the same thing. So in your Black Reliquary mod, which you should all download because it's really good and fun. A lot of cool people make this. Got your trinket shop instead of your Nomad wagon, and then just like how you do the Color of Madness trinkets, you pop that little side panel open. Jump in there. So I've only looked at like 2 of these briefly, and so I wanted to kind of do my reaction to these on stream. Heard people make the mod are smart and handsome. True. Alright, so starting off, this, I believe the refined amber dust is what you need for this, even though they're like different symbols. So if I can get some confirmation, but you get that from here. So you get amber, which is an heirloom. I was gonna say a heirloom, but it's an heirloom, and then you bring people in here to stress heal, but also they grind it up into powder for you. There you go. 69 amber is. All right. So, how much was I paid to sponsor this? Nothing. They didn't pay me. They didn't have to. All right. It is for free. Yeah, so I'm gonna just run through the trinkets real quick. It looks like each character has one, and this mod also has 2 new additions. Technically 3. Musketeer's been reworked into a separate character, and it's really fun. There's, who is it? Judicator? Or is it Justicar? Judicator. I always get it backwards. So Judicator is a religious type unit, which is pretty cool. And then we have Dredge, which is basically a mech pilot, which is also very fun. Since I can't trust the chat here, I'm kidding. But I'm gonna run through the trinkets. So starting off with Highwayman, this pistol, which I cannot pronounce, Damascene pistol. So damage while marked. If he is marked, is that what it is? So it's kind of like a mark counter, which is cool. On range attack, hit self. Okay, so when you hit a range attack, you mark yourself after that. Okay. And then if you're a post, you clear it. That's interesting. But you get dodge and damage while marked. So this is kind of like a pseudo tanking thing. And there are other ways to get marked too. Assuming Antiquarian still works the same with Protect Me. It does. Okay, so you can mark him that way too, which is cool. So you get damage and dodge while marked. This is actually really interesting as a trinket. So I think just from what I've seen, it's not too hard to get too much amber dust. So the costs on these are all pretty fair, I feel like. But this looks really cool, and this seems like it would change how Highwayman plays. So that's really fun. Let's see. We got Houndmaster gets a cutlass. So Blackjack can no longer stun or debuff. I'm assuming this is supposed to like thematically replace the club here with a different thing. You know, instead of a club, you have a cutlass. So when you hit that 1 melee attack, because Houndmaster has no other melee attacks, you hit that and you can bleed the target for a pretty solid bleed. And then the bleed chance and the amount goes up per skill level. That's good. That gives it scaling. The +1 bleed, it seems a little high, but the stats in Black Reliquary are a little higher than you'd expect just because it's easier to balance. So this is essentially starting off at like a 2-point bleed, then it goes up to probably like a 4-point, which is pretty normal. Get 6 dust per weeks per person in Refinery. Thank you. That's good information to have. But otherwise, let's see. On melee attack, hit buff party for 6 crit versus bleeding. That's kind of sick. Get some really good bleed cleaves going on. So you could even, if this lasts 3 turns, you probably do some cheeky stuff. Like you could hit you'd hit Blackjack and then like Hound's Harry or something, or pair it with Flagellant or Jester, someone that can put out a lot of bleed, and then you just get a bunch of crit for it. Okay, so I bombed that first take talking about this, but the Antiquarian one, so you get bonuses like bonus damage, armor piercing if you have refined amber dust in your inventory, but you also get one after combat if you kill a monster. Then I guess if you kill a monster, enemy party clears corpses. So that's interesting. So I guess what it's trying to say is like you're turning all of the dead bodies into refined amber dust, which is a bit morbid. And in return, you get a very strong nervous stab. So this is neutral, huh? Interesting. We got some neutral choices. So the game has a system for affiliations. You have faithless, religious, and pagan. And this covers 2 of them. So if you are using a friendly skill on a target that is not pagan, so that's one of the 2, or 2 of the 3, they get dodge. If they're not religious, then they get 5 accuracy. On friendly skill, debuff target 8% max HP down. That's actually very scary. I don't know how long these last. Are these battle long or are these round long? You know? You cannot use the Antiquarian thing with scavenge because it clears corpses. Okay. 3 rounds? Okay, that sounds right. So I guess if you pick someone that's faithless, you can give them essentially 16 or 24 dodge and 15 accuracy. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool as an idea. I could see this being really good on maybe a Highwayman, you know, paired with this, right? So you just get some massive tanking value. The reason, the shortcoming of something like this just at a glance is actually the accuracy. Without knowing every single trinket in the game and what you get access to, usually for most intents and purposes, without knowing the enemy dodges too, you try and cap your accuracy like first. So before you leave the hamlet, you know, especially in like vanilla, you give your characters like focus rings and whatnot to cap accuracy. So getting situational accuracy isn't as good, but it's still not bad, right? We all still use Battle Bella with Jester. But that's the only thing that really jumps out at me about this. Faithless party plus AoE friendly. Okay. Get a faithless party with like a Vestal or something. Some other group buffs, which I can't remember offhand, but I'm not gonna go digging. Alright, Arbalest gets a bandana. Let's see, her bandage can't heal anymore, so you just... I was gonna say you get rid of that, but no you don't, do you? Unfriendly skill buff target 25% damage against marked. Unfriendly skill buff self. Okay, so... instead of your bandage healing, you just give yourself and someone else mark damage. That's cool. It seems like it'd be pretty good for boss killing. And it would kind of make it nice because then you could run Arbalest and Vestal together, which historically don't usually go together in most teams unless Vestal's in rank 2. Just because it's too much healing. You don't need that much healing in a team. But otherwise, very cool idea. There's another neutral one. Plus 30% damage flat. Receive 20% damage, or 20% of direct damage dealt from attacks. And your attacks cannot be riposted. That is interesting. Who would this go on? Someone with a potent self-heal, or you'd have to have another healer dumping heals into them. But this is dangerous, you know? Definitely dangerous, but you can't be riposted. And riposte is... there's some nasty riposte hits out there in Black Reliquary, and I'm sure there are more to come, so it would help. Give the enemies 20% damage reflect when you hit them. Yeah, that makes sense. It's cool. It's definitely cool. And I'm assuming, like, Mirror Shield's reflection, you can't mitigate this, so this wouldn't be like, you know, if you had Prot, it would cut into it. Leper, A-Bomb, Flage, those are all good choices. Or just giving, literally just having, like, a huge hyper carry with, like, 1 or 2 healers. Would be a way to do it. Prot doesn't affect this? Okay. Otherwise, cool idea. Another neutral one, friendly skill, target gains, symptom, ghoul fever. So ghoul fever, I don't remember exactly what it does off the top of my head, but I did have it once. And it's something like, has a chance to spawn mother ghouls and all this other nasty stuff, I guess. But if you want to give yourself some ghoul fever with the ghoul serum injection, great name. You have a chance of giving anyone ghoul fever. So I guess you want to go ghoul mother hunting. Ghoul plague lets you find more ghouls. Okay. Target has untreated ghoul fever or plague. Buff target for accuracy and damage. That's pretty cool. So in Black Reliquary, the diseases, the way they work, they have symptoms and then they're full-fledged diseases. And when you do missions, you can buy disease kits. Right here, and this will suppress the effects. It won't remove them, but it will suppress the effects and make them, you know, more manageable. So if you were going to use, keep doing that by accident. you're going to use this, you want to make sure you're not treating your ghoul fevers if you want the damage bonus. Again, like kind of like the this one, the dissonant relic, where you get bonus accuracy. The bonus accuracy on this isn't as appealing as the damage. The damage is nice. Okay, so I'm seeing some explanations on how damage reflect works. Okay. Does it make it cheaper if you want to stabilize disease before moving it? Does it? I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. You give you ghoul cancer so we can kill stuff? Ghoul cancer. Abomination. Blood taint strain. Hero cannot dodge. Alright, so just start stacking prot at that point, I'd imagine. Like prot resists. I mean, who dodges, honestly? Right? Dodge never works anyway. On being hit, buff self, 25% blight amount applied. Does Abomination... I don't think I have one yet. I forget, does his B-Spile riposte in this game like BC, or no? But anyway. On Rage, so I guess you have to... You get some human mode synergy and then some transform synergy. B-Spile doesn't riposte? Alright, thank you. Use it on prep round, okay. Prep round's another bag we have to talk about, but I've already made a video on BC, so maybe we'll do a refresher soon. But anyway, Rage and Slam hit blight targets, or blights the target for 3 points for 3 rounds. So I'm assuming that the blight amount increase works for this, right? So if you end up getting this buff and then like raging and slamming and stuff like that, you can get some like 4-point blight. That'd be cool. Works with those. All right. Rework trinkets sound interesting. They're very cool so far. On Rake hit. So Rake is a cleave. I was wondering how that would work, and it's got a lower blight chance. Totally absolutely fair and how it should work. So this is a really good job in terms of balancing for the good stuff. So this really makes it so Transform Abomination is more appealing, and also if his damage buff works the same way as it does in base game, it falls off after a few turns, and this kind of keeps you with your damage, which is really nice. Bounty Hunter. Okay, so we got the big prize, bonus damage against Mark. We have less debuff and Mark skill chance. Mark is resistible in BC. It's tied to your debuff res, so they kind of share. And in this case, you get less Mark chance, so things like Mark for Death and Come Hither and stuff like that don't apply marks. It's not minus 100, but it's definitely low enough to where most things are probably going to shrug it. And you get minus 12 speed, so this is totally like, please set me up. You know, you put this on, you have a team that can either raise your damage or set marks and stuff for you, and then you hit them. On Mark for Death hit, buff self, plus 3 speed per marked enemy. This is interesting. So I guess if everything's marked, you give yourself like 12 speed or 9 speed. A damage bonus against human. It's a trinket! It's just damage bonus against marked. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the speed would be for, because you already have minus, 1,000 speed on this, so you're kind of committed at that point. You get 12 speed, but you just lost 12, so it evens out. That's what it seems like. It's like you can even out your speed by marking something. You don't want useless skills? I mean, I'm not... Okay. I get you. I do. So Mark for Death doesn't become a dead button. That makes a lot of sense. It does. So you can even out the speed. Mark for Death can still be put on the bar. And Come Hither already still pulls. So it's actually doesn't have mark at all in this. Wow. There you go. Interesting. So without putting it into practice, I'm not sure how easy it would be or feasible to get the speed to fix itself. But the damage alone is pretty high, and it takes 1 slot. It's not like the CC set, So you put this on, you have 40% damage, put something else on for a ton of damage, and then just kill stuff, Double BH comp, definitely. I can definitely see that. Have one BH set you up, and then have the other BH just, kill stuff. Definitely. Bounty Hunter works very well in pairs. Go figure. Judicator. 20% damage if amber residue in inventory. Get 1 amber residue after combat when you kill a monster. For a chance, okay. So is this just 20% just for having one and not 20% per, because that'd be a lot of damage if it was 20% per. And then you lose dot resist, which is pretty common. Dot is pretty common in this mode. You gotta be careful with that. Otherwise, seems pretty solid. It's interesting because Judicator seems pretty synergistic with the new debuffs and stuff like that. And as far as this character goes, this is pretty straightforward as a trinket. Can't do per, good. It'd be way too strong at that point. Like, you could go through a whole dungeon, clear it out, then go fight a boss, and then just have like plus 200% damage or something. Be nuts. Residue grants small offensive buffs at the cost of some debuffs. Pagan get more stats from it, while religious get less when you use it. Okay. Kind of reminds me of the blood in some way. Horn of Fervor, Hellions. Yop can no longer stun or debuff. And range attacks buff party for 15% damage and 3 crits. And then on range attack debuff accuracy. That's scary. So I'm assuming the only range attack is Yop, right? Because Yop is melee in base game, which is goofy. So it makes sense that this is range. And so if we're gonna use Yop, you don't get to stun, you don't get the dodge or damage penalty from the prep round stuff. So instead, you Yop, and basically it's replaced by a team buff. So you lose 5 accuracy, but then you have 3 crit and 15 damage. That's kind of hot. Doesn't seem good. I think it's alright. I'd run this. I mean, you have to pick up the accuracy somewhere. But, hello. You have to pick up the accuracy somewhere, but it's still good. I think it's good. Base Yop is so good, though. Yeah, it is. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Yop is so bad you need this trinket. Good on prep phase? Yeah. Especially, Yop just has a cooldown, right? Does Yop even have a cooldown? Can you spam this? Hold up. I'm assuming it lasts for like 3 turns, so you'd have to like cycle it. Man-at-Arms or Jester? Yeah, there are ways around it for sure. 2-round cooldown. Did it say 2 and I just didn't see it? Am I dumb? There it is. It's right. It's my face, dude. Alright. So you can Yop on cooldown and get damage and crit. For some reason, like when I looked at this, I was expecting the cooldown to be at like the top or the bottom, but it makes sense. Plague Doctor. Minus 300% damage versus corpses. Minus speed if no enemy is corpse. So if they're... So you have minus 6 speed until something dies. Melee attack versus corpse. Buff self for blight amount applied. Blight chance. Melee attack versus corpse hit. Debuff self for minus HP. This is definitely a mod trinket. This is the most mod trinket of the bunch so far. And when I say that is lots and lots of conditional effects. This, basically what this seems to boil down to is if there's a corpse, you want to incision it, and then you get blight bonuses. That's what it seems like. So you want like rank 3 Plague Doctor. Can't read? What are you talking about? Oh, the cooldown thing? Love mod trinkets. I know a lot of you do. As convoluted as it seems to be on first glance, it's fine. I'm curious though why the minus 300% damage when you attack a corpse. Like, you don't want to kill it? So can you just like swing on corpses and then just keep buffing up? Is that how it's supposed to work? Oh, this lasts per battle. Oh my god, that's cool. Workaround purposes. See, that's what I thought, yeah. So you get rid of the corpses, but I guess I see what you're saying, the workaround part. Darkest Dungeon spaghetti code added again. So this is basically a camp skill when you swing on something. It's not bad. So essentially this trinket boils down to being not only a penalty if nothing is dead, but it's also 10% blight applied and blight chance. Is that worth using? Initially, it's hard to say. Does it stack? It might, but you get the minus HP as well, so you have to be very careful. Like, if you really wanted to hyper optimize what you're doing, you go through a couple fights, you know, and you keep refreshing this, maybe get 2 or 3 stacks, and then you put Plague Doctor in like rank 4 afterwards to make sure that you're safer. Stack it a lot, yeah. And then have a guard, yeah, that's another way around it. So if you can keep stacking this up, honestly, with 1 tick of this is not good. Just straight up, like -6 speed if there's no corpse, and then 10% blight applied and blight chance is not that good. However, 50% blight applied, 50% blight chance, that's when this starts getting nutty. You can get through, unless something has like 500 blight res, you're gonna get through most things at this point. So that is actually pretty cool. You definitely have to build an entire team around this, it feels like. This isn't just something you slap on and get value. P in position 4, enemy Hellion goes Iron Swan. I mean, that's where you get the guard, right? It's about the best you can do though. -6 speed on a stunner is painful. It's equivalent to about -3. And you got the prep round and stuff, so it's not as detrimental as it seems. But it definitely isn't great. Should be 50%, but 3 rounds, not battle. I don't know. If for it, the fact that it's a battle buff means you can take it into a boss fight. Whereas normally, I haven't fought any BR bosses yet, but if they don't have friends that you can hit corpses on, then this is just a dead trinket in a boss fight, and that's kind of not fun. Let's see. Moving on though. Chat, we can talk about it after. How many battles? 4 battles. Shieldbreaker gets Snake Wine. 15% stress received. Usually, at least in base game, she gets kind of battered by stress because of the nightmares. But on friendly skills, self-activate Riposte. I'm assuming this is for Sway. So when you activate Sway, you also get Riposte on top of block, which is kind of good. And everyone's got base Riposte stats in the game. So if you ever look at the hero info, which has all the useful stuff you should know, you can see what the Ripostes are. Everyone gets a Riposte though. There are ways to give people Riposte. That's why, you know, you gotta pay attention. Riposte effect, +10 accuracy per difficulty. This handles Riposte's biggest issue, which is scaling. In the base game, both Man-at-Arms and Highwayman, their Riposte accuracy doesn't scale. So it actually gets weaker the farther into the game you get. So it starts at 80% accuracy. And then this goes up to per difficulty. So 3 difficulties, 110. It's not bad. It's not bad. Had to flash the Flagellant additional info. I did. I actually did. Fine. We'll look at Crusader. See? Crusader's chill. Gets a Riposte. Very honest Riposte. Alright. But yeah, this is cool. Unfriendly skills self-consume 1 block. So you can't have like perma block with perma Riposte, which is completely fine. So this one's cool to try. I definitely want to try this. Especially because it's not a trinket they have to build a team around like the urn, it seems like. So you can just run this normally, and you get Riposte for free. So it's interesting. There's another neutral one, 100% food consumed from this monkey. So the monkey apparently goes with you and eats all your snacks. Attacks enemies that utilize amber between rounds. I'm not quite sure what utilizes amber between rounds. So I'm gonna need clarification. But otherwise, debuffs target for minus dodge, and it does 4 to 8 damage, and then it increases by difficulty. That's not a bad amount of damage. Use amber, trogs do? Okay. I just wasn't sure what utilizing amber refers to, because like that's utilize can mean a lot of things. It's an actor dot? That makes sense. Oh, I guess not. Never mind. But yeah. You get a monkey that bites people. Seems like real life to me. Clockwork Heart. Yo, does Leper get a pacemaker, dude? Come on. So for Leper, minus 20% HP, minus 4 speed. He's not inherently fast, even in this version, so minus speed is... It sucks, but whatever. On attack hit, buff self, 20% damage and 3 speed. So you almost offset it just by hitting stuff. And then when you hit things, you suffer 4 HP. So if you want a huge spam, there's gonna be a penalty. But you also ramp up for a lot of damage the more stuff the more times you hit. which is pretty cool. Attack hit, debuff self, 15% damage taken. Friendly skill, clear all buffs, debuffs from this trinket. So if you heal him, then you're going to take everything off. But if you want to play very risky and just keep slamming stuff, then you're going to keep ramping up the damage. I imagine you're supposed to potentially, you know, hew 2 things a couple times, get a bunch of damage, then like chop for big damage, or intimidate. Get like a, you know, 8 damage intimidate. Oh my god. I think the other thing you can do with this trinket too is like guard Leper before his turn, so he's, you know, safe for a couple turns, then start swinging, and then once it's over, then you heal him, right? There's a lot of ways around this. Not just guarding, but like mark tanking and stuff. So, really cool. Really cool idea. Definitely risk and reward, very in the spirit of the game. Can Solemnity get rid of the buffs? I assume so. It says friendly skill. Like, this is what Tempest could be in DD2? Kinda, yeah. Kinda feels like this is what Tempest was going for. Like, Tempest was supposed to be, I think the reason this trinket actually might capture the idea of Tempest better is because in DD2, Tempest is just like static buffs for like the entire time. And you think of Tempest, you think of like, you know, raging winds and stuff like that. And this is definitely a ramp trinket. So the more you're hitting, the more damage you're getting. So it definitely feels more of a Tempest than the DD2 variant. So really cool idea. And it only takes 1 slot, so you can still do other stuff with the other trinket. Like, probably give yourself a bunch of prot at that point. Oh, this is cool. So Occultist, very simple. Minus 75% healing done. Really, this is of no consequence. Occultist only heals for 0 to 2. So, really, this is just a straight buff. So, when you heal them, I'm joking, but when you heal them, you give them stealth for 2 turns. Definitely do some cheeky stuff with that. Original idea, donut steal. Momentum trinket, yeah. This is definitely cool, especially characters like Grave Robber. Get one of the most fun moves I've seen so far, which is Shovel Bash. So you can, if you're in stealth, you get a stun, and I don't know who else gets stealth synergy, but you know, you got this. Then also, yeah, Lunch takes off stealth. So interesting, very interesting. Thieving Gloves, these are neutral, so your attacks ignore stealth. Quite a few things can get stealth in BR, so this really helps out. Melee attacks cannot be riposted, but ranged attacks can. It's a weird interaction with this game, and that's not just BR, I'm talking about like vanilla, where the gun bandit in the back can shoot your team from the back of the enemy party, and your Dismas up front or in the back of your party can stab him with a knife, right? So it's odd. But anyway, so you ignore stealth, your melee attacks can't be riposted, and then if you melee attack and hit them, you steal their bleed, blight, mark, restoration, riposte, and stealth. So this is like highway robbery, but with more stuff and more threat to you. So it's not just upside. So if you hit them, a few things get restoration in this mode, and stealth and riposte. So like those are a lot of good things to steal. But also, Mark is strong in BR because of the prep round. Bleed and Blight are just inherently strong, it feels like, in my experience. So you really have to pick your spot to use this. And this isn't even like a Highwayman training, this is for anyone. So this is interesting. This makes sense logically in all situations. So I do have one question. If your own riposte is considered melee, can you, like, if Highwayman has dual savants up, can he steal with this and then just kind of keep it going, I guess? Post doesn't trigger? Okay. Perfumer's Needle. Gain permanent riposte. Oh my god. I'm already sold, dude. That's I like it right there. Just stop. Just stop the press. But let's keep going. 15 riposte accuracy, minus 60% riposte damage, that's fine. Undoubtedly, there's gonna be some like dot heavy riposte. I'm gonna open the train wreck of Flagellant thing up here, so just ignore all the bottom stuff. But you get bleed damage on riposting. That's already cool enough. There's some tricky stuff you can do with this, or tricky things, I'd imagine. I think Shieldbreaker gets a blight one. So you get permanent riposte, but you also get lower effect chance. Yeah, that's definitely the balancing act. So they're definitely on top of what could happen, but that's, you know, something to be aware of. On riposte it after combat, gain 1 extract. So whatever you get differs based on the dungeon. I'm assuming that means location. But this is cool. I would definitely like to try this. Flagellant only on attack, self-suffer. He already suffers, man. I guess he's suffering more. Yeah, take 5 HP damage. That's a bit scary early on. Later is probably not as big of a deal. When you attack, buff self 40% damage if HP below a third. So if you want to keep swinging, you get 40% damage uptime. If HP below 30%, don't suffer damage from this trinket. Okay. So basically, flesh-eating helm, of course. that's very fitting. So hit them a bunch, get yourself to low HP, and then stay there for as long as you can to get the damage bonus, and then probably like Sang out of it or something like that. That's how I would see this. Extracts apply different debuffs based on area. Okay. This plus Clockwork Heart. I mean, it's 2 different classes, but unless you mean the riposte thing. Oh, that would be nuts. Riposte plus the heart, wherever it is. Oh my goodness. Does it work like that? The private reserve. All right, grave robber. I am listening intently. 20% flat crit, minus 15 accuracy. On crit, shuffle self. On crit, self stumble 2 rounds. This very dance focused grave robber. The minus 15 accuracy. That is ouchies. But lunge inherently has slightly more accuracy than normal, but I think it got nerfed a little bit. Did you guys tone down lunge's accuracy? It's like 115 in base or something like that, I think. 20 crit. It's a lot of crit. You are ganking stuff with this, for sure. Like, even this rank 2 lunge, that's plus 29% crit with her 7, so that's 36 crit at level 2. And dance teams, most grave robber teams should be able to handle that, so. Can do a lot of stuff. Dagger gives accuracy on miss. Oh, that's a good change. Yeah, this didn't do that in vanilla. It didn't for some reason. Yeah, it was dumb. But now it's changed. Jester. I do like this. I'll definitely play around with this one. Overgrown Cedar, Setter, Sitar. I don't know how you say that. Minus 8 dodge, battle ballad. Minus 60% healing done. Does this give you healing then? On combat start, friendly skills are disabled. On monster kill, enable friendly skills. On friendly skills, heal target for 25% of the max HP. Okay, so if you want to like cleave your team with ballad, it's weaker. I see. It's a lot of steps to turn Jester into a healer, but that is kind of cool. How much crit is Grave Robbers? 20. It's another mod trinket, all right. It is, but I like the idea. One man Gestal. I know. Get rid of your Vestal and just get you a guy that can do everything. Living ammo. This is what people would tell me to check out before I started recording this. This is for Musketeer, who is a different character in this mode. She shares some similarities with Arbalest in terms of just, you know, shooting stuff, but and they both have bandage. But Musketeer has like an ammo system, which really changes how she plays. Minus healing received. All monster kill equip live ammo. All monster kill buff self. 15% healing received if live ammo is equipped. Basically gives you another ammo type in the rotation. Oh, so does it literally like changes your shot or whatever. Not reading? I am reading! It says when you kill something, you get live ammo. But from what I'm seeing, live ammo just gives you healing received. I didn't know it changed like your shot and stuff. Yeah, see, it doesn't show live ammo type. Get off my butt. Okay, so I'd have to see how live ammo works to properly evaluate this, but you know, if she can keep herself alive or heal other people and stuff, that'd be cool. Yeah, I understand it's probably just a limitation. Because you guys are so thorough normally that I figure you just can't like show this without Can you go in the additional info tab? Would be able to fit there. Let's reload after testing it. Unless you can't show it on the skill. Yo, Hive, thanks for the 2 months, dude. Yes, it could. I don't know how it works. I'm just saying, like, you guys already threw a bunch of info in here. So, if you could fit a little more. Jet tip below it for live ammo. And you could do it here too, but that'd be a lot of text. Loki. It is Loki. He's right there too. He's like literally right here, sleeping. Seeing Flagellant info could fit there. Don't want to put it into the trinket because then it'd always be there. Yeah. Production value. Bam. Okay. Can I zoom in here? I can. This is buckshot with the new ammo type. So you get cooldown for 1 round, minus damage, plus crit. Debuff target, they get 100% healing received down. That could be good for some like this is against the enemies, right? So they can't cure blights and stuff, so how often does that come into play? Is level 1 buckshot? Well, what goes up? The chance? Good against swarmers? And then there was this one here. This is standard shot. So standard shot just heals. That's kind of cool. Move over a little bit actually. It's like, dude, this is like a 90s picture. Look at the trigger. It's got a little mouth on it. It's cool. So yeah, no damage penalty, no armor pen, but heal self for 10 for shooting. It's good. I like it. It's a mad ball. Bombard is blight plus small speed debuff. Smokescreen is bleed blight amount received debuff. Alright. Well, there you go. Looks like Bullet Bill. It does. Alright. Very cool. Musketeer continuing to be the bias of this project. Alright, Man-at-Arms. Minus crits received and minus crit chance. You know what? That's fine. Really good tanking thing right there. On friendly skill, buff target, 15 prot, minus 15% stress. I do like the minus stress the most. So does this count on defender? Like it buffs the target and yourself? And then whoever you use this on, or the friendly skill on, loses damage. Stall the trinket. It's cool because it's a different way of stalling. It's not like stunning the enemy to death and then, you know, tapping them for 2 damage or hitting corpses over and over and stuff like that. It's actually, you know, it kind of fits into the Man-at-Arms motif of just being a huge plate using, you know, wall of man. So that's pretty cool. Like, if you want to go super hyper defensive Man-at-Arms, here you go. You don't really need to, it's not like minus flat damage, so you can still hit stuff for a decent amount. You just don't get to crit, which is fine. Actually, you do lose damage on using skills, but works well with dot teams. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Put a Flagellant like a Plague Doctor in there. Nerf your own Crush. It doesn't matter what the game is, doesn't matter if it's Steam Workshop mods or what. Crush cannot escape the Nerf hammer. This works with Command? I'd assume so. I think Command's different in this game though, right? Do I have Man-at-Arms? Yeah, I do. Yeah, Command gives the target riposte, so it's one of the things that gives people riposte that we were talking about, and then he gives them crit. So, that's cool. Crusader. Bleed and Blight Res, Monster Kill, Cure Horror. On being hit, equip a banner for the entire quest. Empowers Battle Heal, Inspiring Cry at a cost. Oh my god, that's so cryptic. Banner cures horror and heals more stress, but self horrors. Okay, that makes sense. So it kind of answers its own issues. So you have to like rotate between healing and killing, which is doable. Definitely doable. Pure Amber Core for Dredge. Can't deal damage, crit, or blight while on foot, so Dredge has 2 modes. She has her like pilot mode where she walks around with her gun. Then she has the mech mode where she jumps in and like punches stuff. So when you're on foot in pilot mode, you can't deal damage, crit, or blight. That does not leave you many options. So these are your on foot skills. So you get a mark, you get a stun, or a speed debuff thing, and then you just get no damage with this. So really you only have 2 things and you have to like go into mech mode. Alright, if you're curious about this, we were just talking about here, feel free to pause the video and screenshot this or whatever. Or like take notes. Yeah, so you can't deal damage on foot. On monster kill, reset heat levels. So this lets you stay in the mech mode for longer. So part of what happens is when you're in the mech mode, you build heat. And if you hit 100% heat, you hurt yourself. It's in here with the overheat. So this actually keeps you cooled down, so to speak. Reset heat level. Not even like minus 50 or 40 or something like that. Literally reset. Took the screenshot from the doc, I figured. What's up, Nate? How you doing? Didn't even bother with the Crusader trinket. Not color coded. That's part of it, dude. I'm so used to looking at DD colors to like figure out what to like what's what. Last iteration of Eldritch Core. How does this work? So when you transform, does this turn it into the Eldritch one? I need some flavor text on Contraband trinkets to help get the idea across. You know, I didn't even notice I was missing that stuff. Amber Core is basically a different mech. So what, do you like swap it out? So if you kill something, you get another Amber Core and like get rid of the old one? Just keep recharging the battery? Until you change the skill set and go to 0 heat. Okay. Alright, Vestals. Bloodlust Periapt. 20% stress received on attack, buff self, 20% damage, 4 crit for 8 rounds. On kill, other heroes heal 20% max. On attack, self takes 6 damage. Oh my god, this is literally bonked Vestal. She's here. You can use Hand of Light and stuff too, but... Oh, Illumination's actually good in this mode, I forgot. Like, Judgment is pretty solid, it's different, but it, you know, it's good. Miss out on the heal a little bit, but then you get like Illumination for bonus damage. So what's up, Nate? Thanks for the prime, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah. So what I like about this specifically, but actually, I do wish something was slightly changed. If I can be so bold as to say, I like that it lasts so long as a skill or as a buff, because like the problem with Hand of Light is you have to cycle it. You know, you hit it once and then you might have to stun on turn 2, so you can't even bonk stuff, so you don't get all the bonuses, or you don't get much value out of the bonuses. So, you know, you have to like Hand of Light if you want the damage, the accuracy is secondary, and then you start smashing them. But in the prep round and stuff like that, actually this doesn't have any prep round modifiers, so set up your stuff for prep round, then like turn 2, Hand of Light, then start slamming stuff. Hopefully it's expiated so you get more damage. Hand of Light buffs the entire party. Oh, it does. Ooh, hold up. It does. That's kind of good. But the reason I like that it lasts 8 turns is because you don't have to, you're not as focused on having to cycle constantly. And it stacks up pretty quickly, kind of like Finale in a way. But you're also not incentivized to consistently keep slamming damage because you're going to keep taking damage for the take damage suffer thing here. The other final part, gave a different icon and hopes people would read the whole thing. This is my bad, okay? Because I see the buff part and I'm just so used to how it is in base. I'm like, that looks like the same buff. I didn't realize it said buff party. That's my fault, all right? So much better than vanilla Hand of Light. Yeah. But the thing that actually sticks out to me the most that I would talk about specifically with Mace Bash is the shortcoming of Vestal for being a, DPS character with Mace Bash in the first game. She has a few issues. She's already a good healer, so you kind of don't want to take that from her. She has a stun, she has judgment, she has a lot of other things that you'd rather be doing. But the really, really big issue this character has in terms of being a melee DPS, it's not even the targeting or whatever, it's that her crit is so garbage. And in this, it seems like it's continuing. So she has 1% base crit that you can see here, and the Mace Bash has no bonus crit. It's like a complete overhaul mod? Yes, it is. Like a Twitch chatter doesn't read anything. I think I'm worse than that. But the reason I like this trinket is this kind of fixes that. So your really horrible crit issue is solved by you smashing stuff. So if you're able to like handle light, I don't know, maybe use dazzling light too, or illumination. Like there are a lot of other things you can press and kind of start building that up, and then it gives you crit options. But yeah, the only thing that I would personally have like a minor complaint about in terms of Vestal, and I'm not saying this has to change or anything, okay, I'm being nice, is in vanilla her crit rates are garbage and they don't seem to be fixed here. And the best way to fix them is through a trinket, which again is fine, right? That's a lot of damage. It lasts for a long time. So if this, honestly, if she had higher base crit, this lasting 8 rounds would be overpowered. So I get it. And it's such a minor issue. I hate Vestal. I think she's alright. Not my favorite though. But that's going to do it for the trinkets. I probably talked enough. I'll end the video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for Twitch, chat, being here, and the BR devs are all great people. Check out the mod and the link in the box thing. We'll see you next time.